All right, so we're going to do example 4 by writing it out as a matrix and using those elementary row operations. This does take some patience and some practice. So 1, 3, 4, and 7 are my numbers of the first row. 2, 7, 5, and 10, second row. 3, 10, 4, and 27, third row. So remember, we're trying to get our matrix to have zeros and ones straight across. If all of these are numbers, then we could use what we call back substitution to solve. So I'm going to erase that so I have room to do my back substitution or to do my matrix work. And I'm going to write out what we do, okay? So I want this right here to be a 0. So I know I can multiply -2 times the first row and add it to the second row. Now, I am not changing the first row at all. I'm using the first row to change the second row. I'm not changing the third row at all. But when I multiply -2 times 1 and I add it to 2, I get 0. -2 times 3 is -6, plus 7 is 1. -2 times 4, -8, plus 5 is -3. -2 times 7 is -14, plus 10 is -4. So notice I'm using the first row to get that 0 in the second row. So now I want this 3 right here to be a 0. So I can do the exact same thing with the first row, except now I'm going to multiply the first row and add it to the third row. So again, I'm only changing the third row. And as you can see, plugging and chugging these numbers, we can make some little mistakes. -3 times 1 plus 3 is 0. -3 times 3 plus 10 is 1. -3 times 4 is -12 plus 4 is going to give me a -8. -3 is 21. -21 plus 27 is 6. So now, my biggest hint that I forgot to tell you is we always want to work down the columns. So even though it's row by columns, we want to work down these columns. So notice I now have that look I'm looking for, 1, 0, 0. Well, very conveniently, I have a 1 here. So I now need to change this row 3, and I need to multiply. So it looks like I could multiply row 2 by -1 and add it to row 3. So again, I did not change row 1 from the last step I took. So remember, we're going up here. I'm trying to color code it for you. All right, -1 times 0 plus 0. -1 times 1 is -1. Plus 1 is 0. -1 times -3 is 3, plus -8 is -5, right? -1 times 4, that would make that a positive, and I add those, I get 10. So the last thing I need is I need to make this right here a 1. So then I'll have that look that I'm going for. So I'm not going to change the first row. I'm not going to change the second row. And it looks like I could just multiply the third row by -1/5. And that will help me because I can multiply anything by 0, and those are still going to be zeros. That will give me this as a 1 and this as a -2. So what this is saying from right here, if I wanted to go back, I could do this, x plus 3y plus 4z equals 47. Y minus 3z equals negative 4. And z equals negative 2. So when I'm looking for my answer, I know z's already solved for. And now I could use back substitution. Y minus 3 times negative 2 equals negative 4. Y plus 6 equals negative 4. So y equals negative 10. And back substitution again. X minus 30, I just multiplied that, minus 8 gives me 47. I think it was just a 7. Well, I have that wrong, don't I? So this was just a 7. Sorry about that. Equals, sorry, I'm fixing it all, 7. And x minus 38 equals 7, so x has to equal 45. Now, you will have a quiz without a calculator. Well, you'll have to know how to do this without a calculator. I think you'll be fine. These are time-consuming. Obviously, one little mistake could really hinder you. But practice these. Take your time. Be patient with yourself.